I got heckled by an M person. I was working in Canterbury at a place called Raise the Roof Festival. Flipping burgers and sort of turning sausages for Canterbury people, the Canterburyese, and it's quite a small festival. It's one of them ones where they have sort of aging bands that had a song once. There was Top Loader. I felt a little bit bad for Top Loader because they have that song, don't they? Dancing in the Moonlight. And then they have a bunch of other songs, and they probably have several albums that no one knows. And so they had they played their music to a bunch of families sat on the field in front of them, and then they finished this set with the big closer, Dancing in the Moonlight, and then all of a sudden the audience had maybe tripled in size, and everyone was going crazy for them. It must be. I mean, it's nice for them to have a song because they've got that song, and that means that they can continue. They can continue the tour in the small festival circuit. They can continue playing in Canterbury. They can continue playing in Hull. They can, if you've got a village fete, like if you've got like a church fete in Slough, Top Loader can go there because they have their song. They've got their song Dancing in the Moonlight, and so it's a bit of a double-edged sword having a song, having one popular song, because you do get to carry on being a musician, a professional musician, but people will only care about that one song. Like if they came out, played Dancing in the Moonlight, and then at the end of that song just went, "All right, see ya." People would have been like, "Oh, they were great. Do you remember? I remember that song. That was really good." But I don't hate Top Loader. They just have they're just like a band. They're just middle of the road band. And I heard this thing the other day about Paul McCartney. I feel like it's relevant to relate Top Loader to the bassist from the Beatles. But apparently, when Paul McCartney plays now, because it's important for everyone to record all of the moments of their lives on their smartphones. Everyone knows this. That's why we've been given smartphones, so we can document the world and create an online sort of visual map of every single little thing, so that when we've gone, and the either the monkeys or the ants or the chameleons or the fish will get legs, and whatever animals coming next. Maybe it's going to be from space. Maybe there's a space, some space eels or whatever aliens look like come down. They can now see all the children's nativity plays, all of the Canterbury music festivals and stuff. They'll be able to see them from all different angles because the people with their smartphones. But when Paul McCartney plays, he plays a lot of his own songs. Plays songs by Wings. Plays a lot of his own. He plays Temporary Secretary. He'll play that. And then he says he looks out, and when he's playing a Paul McCartney song or a Paul McCartney post Beatles song, because he often plays at night because he'd be the headliner, wouldn't he? So he looks out, and there's just just to see if this darkness, and then as soon as he plays a Beatles song, up go the smartphones with their lights on. The new smartphones are the new lighters. I heard someone say that the other day. I like that. The new lighters at a rock concert, and then for every Beatles song, it's just a sea of light from smartphones, and I feel like that's how it has to be, really, because he probably wouldn't. He's obviously glad he was in the Beatles, isn't he? because he's probably the biggest band currently still after all these years. But he must feel a part of, if he had stopped making music and just had the Beatles legacy, maybe it would still, maybe he would still be as sort of famous and popular as he was. I mean, like maybe like a football player who like retires, plays for all the biggest clubs and then retires at like 30 and doesn't go to like some lower level team or doesn't do any of that, and then they keep that legacy of being this amazing player or whatever. Maybe but I don't know what I'm saying really. Or what I'm saying is it's a bit of a double-edged sword. Like you need the success to be able to carry on doing the thing, but then there's only so much. There's a peak, isn't there? There's a peak of success, and Paul McCartney's happened around mid 70s the start of the 70s, whenever the Beatles stopped performing, or not performing but recording. But he's carried on for another 50 years or whatever maths is. And Top Loader, they began their career around, I'm going to just say 2003. They peaked around probably 2004 with Dancing in the Moonlight, and then that was it. But they're still going. You can't, like, it's better than working in it's better than working down a coal mine. I'll give them that. Not the full body workout of mining though. So maybe miners are who knows? Top Loader or miners? Would you rather be a miner or in Top Loader? I feel like I could choose Top Loader, but just for a bit. But they probably, when they're writing a songs, they probably think like, oh, this next song is going to be the next Dancing in the Moonlight. But it just never is. Never is. I got confused between Top Loader and Star Sailor. Do you remember Star Sailor? Because I thought Star Sailor did Dancing in the Moonlight. Turns out it was Top Loader. But I've never seen Top Loader and Star Sailor in the same room together. So, that might be a way. Maybe people should have two different bands that start at the same time, and they both get to a mid-level of success, and then you could even play. You could just keep playing all the festivals. When one band has a little dip, the other, Star Sailor might go a bit. Star Sailor might kick on a little bit. They might have we've got a top 40, maybe number 40, and then Star Sailor starting to slip a bit. Here comes Top Loader again with just a re-release of Dancing in the Moonlight. Found out Dancing in the Moonlight isn't even Top Loader's song. It's a cover. I don't know who it's by. I've heard someone say it was from the 1970s. So Top Loader don't even have. That's not even their song. Isn't even their song. So this is maybe that's why they're playing in Raise the Roof in Canterbury. Who knows? I got a low-level music festival in the town where I'm from. It's called Richmond Live, and they have the Lightning Seeds. And I was thinking about the Lightning Seeds because they've got the World Cup song, haven't they? They've got Three Lines on a Shirt, haven't they? That's the Lightning Seeds. Do they play that song when it's irrelevant? Because obviously that's a song about the Euro 90s Euros. It's about the England football team, isn't it? So do they play like footballs in a Christmas gig? We've booked the Lightning Seeds to play at this Christmas gig at the National Exhibition Centre. Christmas run-in of old bands at Christmas time. Sort of like the lackadaisical proms Lazily booked proms at the National Exhibition Centre, headlined by the Lightning Seas at Christmas. Are they playing Football's Coming Home? Are they? Possibly. So at Raise the Roof, we've got Top Loader. We've got ABBA Gold, which are an ABBA tribute band. We've got Wannabe, which is Canterbury's best Spice Girls tribute act. Very good, very good band. If you like the Spice Girls, then they sound like what the Spice Girls sound like, so you can't go wrong there. Dick and Dom, where they're children's entertainers, but they headlined at 7 p.m. I was expecting a kids show. Turns out they came out. They did a DJ battle. They came out in like boxing gloves and stuff, and the one person would play a song, Dick or Dom. Dom would say Dom chooses the track, plays the track, and then Richard. So it's Dominic and Richard. Dick chooses the track, and then at the end, they get the crowd to shout the name of the person they think has won the best song of that bit, and then they do it again. They choose a different song each, and then they keep going until whoever's got the most points wins this sort of nonsensical DJ battle. But fair enough. You don't shout if you're a child. If you're there with your family, shout Dom a lot if you want Dom to win. But what if Dick plays the best track? Are you going to encourage your child to start shouting Dick over and over again in a field and surrounded by people? I feel like if I was a child, I would only vote for Dick, which is one of the strangest sentences I've said. I'll give you that today. But it's fun to shout swear words, isn't it? Is Dick a swear word? I'm going to say if my kid... It's all about situational, isn't it? Like if my children... I've got a 10-year-old and a 9-year-old child. I've got two children. I haven't got one child who's 10 and 9. I've got two children. One's 10 and one's 9. If they were in church and they started shouting Dick over and over again, Dick, 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 I would have to say, excuse me, children, excuse me, time and a place. This is God's house. That's where God lives. He's got houses all over the country. It's good, actually, have all this property because, never has to sleep on the streets. But maybe don't start shouting really phallic chants, in God's living room. Or like Tesco's. We're in Tesco's buying egg mayonnaise, pre-made egg mayonnaise, and pretzels. And the kids they're down the frozen aisle. Dick, 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 Dick. Though in that situation, maybe they want me to buy them a spotted dick. Because that would be frozen, I reckon. A log of dick. A log of spotted dick. But I've never bought that for them, so I'm going to say they're probably doing the phallic chant and not asking for, like, school meal desserts. Do they still make spotted dick at school? Seems like the worst place to make a spotted dick. I reckon keep that for the old people's homes because they like stuff like spotted dick and prunes. Jar of prunes. On the menu today we've got jar of prunes or spotted dick. But needless to say, Dick did win the DJ battle. Because he's got a more fun name to chant. I'm not saying that his song choices were worse, but he has got a more fun name to chant. And if you're a drunk dad at Canterbury's Raise the Roof Festival, then, you're going to want to shout Dick, aren't you? near your kids. You can do it near your kids because that's what he's called. You can be like, kids, come on, kids. Deck. But I thought that they were going to be super rubbish. But turns out they started off a bit cheesy. I was like, oh, it's going to be a bit hacky, this, because they started playing like Chelsea Dagger, which is good, and like Kaiser Cheese and stuff. But then they sort of, as the set went on, they sort of started to add in some old, like, they played some Chemical Brothers, and they played some Fatboy Slim, and they played some Faithless, and they played some Prodigy, and they even played several Prodigy songs, which I thought was great. They played Outer Space, and they even played the Pendulum remix of Voodoo People, which I don't think is as good as the original, because Pendulum have a way of making all of their music super bland. It's like when you make internet music and you put everything through compressors and quantize everything, and all the instruments are at the same sort of volume the whole way through. There's no dynamic shift. That's my problem with Pendulum. It's very much that same. It's like drum and bass by numbers. Not that I am some sort of fucking drum and bass aficionado, but I feel like they are entry level drum and bass. And you know what? I'm expecting 100,000 emails saying that they're not even a drum and bass act. So come at me, drum and bass fans. But Big Brothers was there. Big Brothers. Don't know about them. I'll move on. Lee Ryan from Blue. Cancelled. How about that? How about that? He was on the bill. He was on the lineup. On the website. Because we were working in our little burger stall, kind of near the backstage bit, I was expecting to catch a little glimpse of Lee Ryan from Blue. Probably didn't have enough space in the field to land his private jet. Lee from Blue. That's cool. Do you reckon he would have added in his own songs? I'm Lee from Blue. Lee from Blue. Do you remember that single? No. Maybe I'll email him with it. If you're listening, Lee from Blue, can't have that. That's copyrighted me. C with a circle in it. How do you say do you just say copyright? Okay, if you say copyright on a recorded medium, does it become copyright, or do I have to go? I got this idea, right? Beavers, but that are skis. C with a circle in it. No one can use that now. C with a circle in it. Alright, I've got a pen, but it's also a thermometer for your rectum. C with a circle in it. C with a circle in it. Is everyone listening? Is everyone walking past outside? C with a circle in it. Yeah. Copyrighted all that. I'm going to say C with a circle in it after every single idea I have on stage. This is how you don't have joke thieves. Like, if you're like, oh shit, maybe there's a man in the crowd with a newspaper with holes cut out on it, or there's a man in the crowd with a big coat with their sleeves sort of pointed upwards, and he's wearing a hat, a big rimmed hat. Like, oh, he looks like a joke thief. Every time I do a bit of new material, instead of going like I usually do, I can just go C with a circle in it. C with TM. C with a circle in it, TM 2019. I'd be like, fuck. I was going to have that joke about sloths. But he did say C with a fucking circle in it. So that is touche. Touche, comedian. You can go on to keep that bit. C with a circle in it. Gonna drink some tea. C with a circle in it. No one can say I'm going to drink some tea. Cool. It's good that I've coming up. I'm making laws. I'm making laws and breaking hearts. Making laws and breaking hearts. That's what I'm doing. But the headline act was the M people. Well, it wasn't M people as such. It was M person. Person. It was Heather Smalls. Little known fact, quite tall. Heather Smalls is the singer from the people. So she is an M person. And she had 2 backing singers. And she's a headline act, but she only played for 40 minutes. And I was like, oh, that's pretty short. For someone with the stature of Heather Smalls. You know. It's pretty short. 40 minutes is pretty short with someone of the stature of Heather Smalls. And I found out why quite quickly. Because the M people have exactly 40 minutes of amazing songs. They were genuinely. I'm going to say this now, I've been known for hyperbole, but the M people, the M person, was the best act at Raise the Roof Festival 2019 in a small park in Canterbury. And people are going to be like, well, how can you say that? Maybe if Lee Ryan from Blue had shown up and sang, all rise, will I buy the low ride? Going in the drive-by. Maybe if he'd done that, you know. I can't imagine it would have been good because they haven't got moving on up, and also search for a hero inside yourself. Search for the hero inside. There was a bit where we got quite a bit of a rush on because we're selling sausages. We're selling sausages for £4.50 in a hot dog. 2 sausages, hot dog bun, any sauce you want. £4.50. And we're selling burgers, £4.50. Burgers on the grill, bit of fried onions in there, cheese on there, slice of cheese in there, £4.50. Go ahead. The M people are just about to go on stage. The last act, we've got hundreds of sausages, hot dogs, and burgers still to sell. So she announces from the stage, right before the M people go on, without telling us, sausages and hot dogs are now going to be only £1. That's what you want to hear as a headline act. And people who perform this might relate to this. Imagine someone putting a food deal on. The food is only available from behind where the stage bit is. You have to walk maybe 2-3 minutes away from the performance area. I'm going to announce that there's really, really cheap food. And then bring on an aging performer. I'm not saying she's aging, but the act is aging. Obviously she is aging, but I just wasn't trying to make... This isn't a pub... I'm not trying to start a public beef with Heather Smalls by saying that she is old. I don't know how old she is. Disclaimer. Don't know how old she is. Allegedly, she's getting old. That's what we have to say on podcasts. Allegedly, she's getting old. But I'm saying they're an aging... The songs are aging. The songs can't feel bad, can they? I said that she's a singer in the prime of her life playing aging songs. Though she has aged at the same rate as the songs. But anyway, so we get this line of people. We didn't know this was going to happen, so we haven't cooked enough sausages off. So we have to then sort of really try and quickly cook a lot of food without killing anyone, which is always when you're cooking as a profession, you go rule number 1: let's not have anyone die. That's not rule 1. Rule 2: drink lots of cups of tea. That's rule 2. Rule 1 though is always definitely let's not have anyone die. I reckon if I was the chef and if I ever worked in a sushi place, in the kitchen, they probably have lots of motivational posters. Let's not have anyone die today, because there's a fish you can eat. I'm going to say it's a puff of fish. I might be wrong. But if you eat the wrong bit of it, you might die. You can keep that food for yourself. I don't want to eat it. See, with a circle in it. You see now, if someone else says they don't want to eat it, they can't say that because that's mine. So we're making and then they start. So we suddenly get this massive long queue, and then the M people, second song in, start playing "Search for the Hero Inside Yourself," which is really inspirational for us. And to be honest, we worked even harder to we really searched for the hero inside ourselves whilst making hot dogs. But absolutely class songs. They kept going. They do this one song. Don't know what it's called. It goes, one night, one night in heaven with you. I think maybe it's called One Night in Heaven. One night, one night in heaven. One night. I like this bit. See, Heather Smalls has got that really distinctive. I can't do it. I sound like. What do I sound like? It's like she sings from the. Now, I don't want this to sound offensive about Heather Smalls, but I'm just not very good at biology. Do you know when you're a bullfrog? And the bottom of your top of your neck, but underneath your jaw inflates. That bit of a bullfrog. What is that called on a person? It's the bottom of your jaw, but I mean the skin and if there are muscles there, I don't know. But the bit that inflates on a bullfrog, I feel like Heather Smalls sings from the human equivalent of the bit that inflates on a bullfrog. Now, if I was a singing teacher, I would tell everyone, if you want to sing like Heather Smalls, sing from the bit under your jaw, above your neck, but is still part of your neck a bit, and head a bit, and jaw a bit, that inflates on a bullfrog. Try and sing from that. One night in heaven with you. See what I mean? From the bit. Hello. Is that what she said? Hello. I'm moving on up. You see, it works. But hero inside yourself. It works if you try and sing from that bit. Search for the hero inside. I think that's a good impression. C with a circle in it. But we had to feed it right. So the M people were fucking amazing. Every single song was fucking class for 40 minutes. And then they didn't milk it. They didn't fucking stick about. They were just like, these are our songs. These are the ones you want to hear. If she was in Top Loaders, she would have just gone, let's do Dancing in the Moonlight. Just get the fuck out of there. Give me my fee. Get the fuck out of there. She's fucking no shit. Takes no prisoners. Heather Smalls and the M people. So I don't know what happened to the rest of the M people. Because she had the backing tracks. I guess the other people in the M people musicians, or are they all singers and they're just like a pop group? I'm not entirely sure, but she's definitely the main one. One night in heaven with you. It's called a melisma. There you go. See me. I'll wait for you to drop my fucking album, mate. It's gonna be covers of M people. I'm gonna make an album of M people covers, and maybe one day I'll be able to headline Raise the Roof Festival in Canterbury. But so we cook food for the band, don't we? Burgers and sausages. Cook food for the band, and then there's a big car leaving, big ruckus. Everyone's sort of crowding round with autographs and stuff. It's Heather Smalls. She's leaving the festival. She stops a car right next to where we are and opens the door. She gets flooded by fans seems really nice. At one point, I thought that she was kicking off because she was like, "Can everyone just move out of the way?" And I was like, "Oh my god, she's been overpapped." No, what happened is she would just want. There was a little girl at the back who really wanted her autograph, and she was like, "Clear the way for this child." And then the child came, and I was like, "Oh, it's nice. Hey, I'm a small. It's really nice of you." And then she left, and then the second car, because they don't travel together, the people. You have person in the front, people in the back. The two backing singers who Heather Smalls didn't drive herself, but the two backing singers were driving herself, and I think they were from South London, so you got another accent coming up soon. But they stopped right next to our van. It's not a van; it was a gazebo. Gazebo, gazpacho, Gestapo, gazebo, and they were like, "Yo, your sausages were bad, man." And we were like, I fucking love the M people, and now they're saying that their food was shit. And I was like, I didn't cook him, he did. Sold my mate out straight away. Just sold him down the river. And they were like, no, they were well good, mate. Really good sausage. Oh, hang on. It's hard to... I'm trying to do a London... All I'm trying to do is a London accent. Fam, man. Hey, your sausages were bad, man. I'm from Yorkshire. I can't be like, yeah, mate, your fucking sausages are fucking bad, mate. She's like, no, your sausages are well good. And then I was like, oh no, I did cook some of them. So you see what I mean? I've sold my colleague out when I thought it was bad. But when I found out that bad meant good, I sold myself back in again. So that's the kind of person I am. That's the kind of person, that says a lot about my character, doesn't it? No, it wasn't me. Unless you liked it, then yes, it was. But we were just having a laugh, though, weren't we? They were like, very good. No, cheers, like, then they left. Heckled by an M person. It's taken me fucking over half an hour to get to that point. That's good, isn't it? I went to my daughter's end of year play. It was The Lion King. My kids are Southerners who live in the north, and they have northern accents, and which makes The Lion King really, really good. One thing that's missing from Disney is a good, solid, broad Yorkshire bass. My favourite character, my daughter was a lioness, and she was very, very good in it. They did the best. So the lionesses are involved in the best song, which is "Hey-ya, humbalea, they lived in me, me-ya, humbalea, may we lived in you, me-ya, humbalea." Do you know that one? It's all is over. That one. They're very singy this morning, aren't I? Bloody hell. I don't know what's happening. It's probably because I've been at Raise the Roof in fucking Canterbury. They lived in me. But Mufasa, Northern Mufasa is probably the best. One day, son, if I look out all over this place, one day all this will be yours. And then sort of young Simba was like, what? What's that dark? Sorry. Got acid reflux. Don't know what that is. Just heard people say that. Acid reflux. Sounds cool though. I feel like as a graffiti artist, I'd be called Acid Reflux. If I was out of Hackers, do you remember the film Hackers with Angelina Jolie? Wearing naught but a leather onesie. A leather motorbike onesie. Makes it less sexy when you call it a motorbike onesie. Doesn't it? But she's like, oh, catsuit. That's the way. Catsuit curry. Angelina Jolie, out of Hackers, short hair, wearing a leather catsuit curry. They've got names like that, haven't they? Acid Cool. Ice Cool. Acid Cool. Fruit Loops. But my name would be Acid Reflux. Yo, Acid Reflux in the house. You'll be able to see my tag, which would be just a man going with his hand up near his mouth. Oh my god, that's the calling card of Acid Reflux. Must be in Acid Reflux's territory now. Yeah, so Northern Mufasa. And they were like, what about that dark place over there? You'd be like, don't go over there, son. Don't go over there. That's Elephant Graveyard. That's Elephant Graveyard over there. I wanted him to add in a little northern reference, like what about that dark place? One day, son, all this will be yours. What about that dark place over there? Don't go over there, son. That's Middlesbrough. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. Don't go over there. That's Scunthorpe. I really wanted to. In fact, I thought of that. Well, sorry, I thought of that when it was happening, and I went, which was completely irrelevant to what was happening. Yeah. But yeah, that was really good. That was really nice. So I got an exciting week coming up. I going up to London tonight, new material. Got some new material to do in Brighton tomorrow. By Thursday, I'm going to Birmingham. That's what the fuck? Was that a real attempt at an accent? Birmingham. Hang on, give me 1 second. Hang on. All right, so we've got someone, Joel and Leah.
Hi, I'm Joel. And I'm Leah.
Joel and Leah, everyone. Okay.
We're going to be teaching you the Birmingham accent.
Right. So I'm going to, before we get going, I'm going to go to the Glee Club in Birmingham on Thursday. I don't drive, which means that my travel arrangements are ridiculous. I am going for a 5-minute spot, but it's important when you do stand-up comedy, you travel quite a long way sometimes to do a 5-minute spot. If you're a new, if you've only been doing comedy a couple of years and you're an open micer, and this is the way to get into the big clubs like the Glee Club, for example. So what I'm doing is I'm setting off at 7 a.m. on the National Express, and I get to Birmingham at 1:30 in the afternoon. I could have gone later, but I've opted to save £15 by arriving to the town 5 hours early with nowhere to stay or go. Which makes more sense if you travel, if you're on the road comedian, maybe you've got a room for the night or something. You can just go, I'll go to the room, have a little nap. Can't do that because I am coming back the same night. I'm going to do my gig, and then I'm getting the midnight coach from Birmingham that gets me back to my house at 6 a.m. That is an almost 24-hour round trip for a 5-minute spot. But no, one of the good things, one of the things about being a stand-up comedian is because it's such a good, hopefully, from what I've heard and seen, it's such a good spot. And it's like a showcase. That no part of me when booking it was like, this is out of control. This sort of thing, because for a music open mic, I wouldn't travel more than 25 meters. Do you know what I mean? If someone was like, you got to go all the way to Coventry to play a couple of songs on the acoustic guitar and go back again, be like, no. But 5 minutes of stage time, I mean, to be just is good. I mean, I'm going all the way to Scotland to do the Raw tour in September, and they're like 5-minute spots. So you do 5 minutes Edinburgh, 5 minutes Glasgow, and then 5 minutes Newcastle, all at the stand. 15 minutes in total of stage time over 3 days. But in one of the most renowned clubs in the group of clubs in the sort of in the UK. So I'm doing that on Thursday. So I'm feeling now that we need to we're gonna have to perform it in a Birmingham accent, aren't we? So I mean, there's only one way to learn how, and that is Joel and Leah, who are going to teach us all of us right now how to become brummies.
Before we start, if you're new, don't forget to go down below, click subscribe.
No, we don't want to. Right, we're not here to promote you. We're here to promote me.
Then what are you doing? Okay, so Birmingham is located in the west.
No, we don't know where. Need to know where Birmingham is. Let's skip a bit ahead.
Birmingham and Liverpool, as the accents were voted sort of the most untrustworthy. I've got.
Well, didn't need to say that, did you? Listen to my video and learn how to do one of the most untrustworthy accents in the country. Right. By the way, important to note, these people aren't brummies, are they?
Got family from Birmingham. They live in Solihull and sort of some surrounding areas.
Yeah, so what you're saying is they're really untrustworthy people. What you're basically saying is, even though I've got family there, I think they're really untrustworthy. Maybe she's actually about to defend them. It sounds a bit like she might be.
So I'm not an expert, but it is in my family.
Yeah.
You are
I'm complete nothing.
You are nothing.
Okay, so these are probably the best two people to choose to teach us the Birmingham accent. I mean, there's a lot of people living in Birmingham, but what we're going to do is we're going to use Joel and Leah to one person who thinks that the accent's really untrustworthy, but does have some family who live there, which is already claimed to that area of the country, and then Joel, who has no connection to it at all.
People say Birmingham sounds like they sound like they've got a cold. Is it stereotype?
Okay, so that's lesson one. Stereotype. Let's try it again. Try that again.
They sound like they've got a cold. Is it stereotype?
Stereotype. Stereotype.
They sound like they've got a cold. Is it stereotype?
Stereotype. It's a stereotype. I'm fine with the but obviously I can't do a comedy sound like that. So it sound like a clanger. Stereotype. Why do I roll my R when I do that? Stereotype. I'm like a half brummie, half fucking South American. Stereotype. Those fiery South American brummies from the Burmese. Is that a thing? Is that a good joke? Burmese. Burmese? Burmese? Shut up with a stereotype. Stereotype. I feel like I should have castanets. Stereotype. Right, I feel like that is the only lesson we need to be able to do Brummy. So say it with me, everyone.
They sound like they've got a cold. They sound like they've got a cold. Stereotype. They sound like they've got a cold. Stereotype. They sound like they've got a cold. Stereotype. But they sound like they've got a cold.
Stereotype. It's Noddy, Brummy. No, not Noddy. Fireman Sam. It's Brum. Right. Shit. So I don't know if you can hear all this rattling, but I've just been slowly dismantling. I don't know if you can hear all that rattling, but I've just, for some reason, been slowly dismantling the mic stand as I've been talking, and then just had to fix it quickly. All right, so it's important to immerse yourself in the culture of the place where you're going. So I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna get on stage, and I'm gonna go. All right, I'm from Yorkshire, and I know that we both often succumb to stereotypes. And they'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'll have to be honest and be like, honestly, sir, I don't know. Honestly, sir, I've got no idea. So I'm going to have 5 hours in Birmingham to kill. Birmingham. What was I saying? Fireman Sam. Yeah, I think I sound more like I live in Fireman Sam, and less like I'm from Birmingham. To be honest. So I'm gonna have to find stuff to do in Birmingham. When I'm there, because I'm gonna have 5 hours to kill, but it's got to be low energy because I want to. I don't want to tire myself out. I'm gonna need to stretch somewhere. Maybe I should go to a yoga class while I'm there. Is that a crazy thing to say? Because the problem with the National Express is they're so uncomfortable. I know that I spent a lot of time last week talking about the National Express, but I'm not going to complain about it. Apart from the fact that you need a good old stretch when you've done at the National Express, because there's just not enough space for your limbs, or you sort of get folded up like a sort of origami. I was going to say an anime character, but I meant to say origami. Gonna have to find some stuff to do, so maybe I should look something up. So I'm looking up a TripAdvisor, Birmingham, right? And they got a sea life centre now. It's like a fish prison, isn't it? We don't need to get into that too much now, but like they got the one in Brighton is right next to the sea, which I feels a bit callous at it. But the sea life centre in Birmingham's got terrible reviews, and I'd hate to be a fish or penguin or manatee or nurse shark in a only 3.5 star rated sea life centre. I want it to be as good as or better than the sea. But this person's given it a 1 star, and it's on the 11th of June, 2019, which is only a month ago. She said it's the worst place she's ever been to. This sea life centre is the worst place I've ever been to. Well, I would say all of the worst places that you could ever go to are places that you're not allowed to leave. Do you know what I mean? It's always going to be a jail or some sort of detainment centre. Do you know, if you don't like it, just go away. Put a couple of fish in your pocket. You know what I mean? Like save them, like Greenpeace. Slap a couple of fish in your bag. Get out of there and release them back into the wild and watch them just slowly sink to the bottom of the sea because you've killed them, because they haven't got water, they've just got old fucking wrappers of Starburst in your pocket. But the worst place I've ever been to, it's small, too many people, no staff anywhere to ask anything. Couldn't move for school kids. Loads of tanks were empty. There's no octopuses. That's one of her main gripes. There's no octopuses. It's octopi, love. No octopuses. Too many school trips. You said that already. Just stuck like sardines, all to do. That's funny that she said that, isn't it? But all the tanks were empty. There's no octopuses. We were stuck in there like sardines. Sardines, another notable fish. Maybe it's art. Maybe you are the fish. You know what I mean? You're the sea life. It's funny to describe yourself as a sardine. It's funny to describe yourself as a fish in a place you've gone to view fish, and you're complaining because there aren't any fish. Do you know what? There's such a lack of fish in here, and such a large amount of people that I now feel like a fish. You've made me feel like a fish, Sea Life Centre Birmingham, and I didn't want to. I wanted to come and view fish. I didn't want to experience life as a fish. All to do. It's a really badly written review, because the last sentence says, in fact, it is all one sentence, Worst place I've ever been to. Small, too many people, no staff anywhere to ask anything. Couldn't move for school kids. Loads of tanks was empty. No octopuses. Too many school trip. Just stuck like sardines. All to do school trips separate. Never again. Did you get that, Sea Life Centre Birmingham? Worst place I've ever been to. Too many people. No staff anywhere to ask anything. Couldn't move for school kids. Loads of tanks was empty. No octopuses. Too many school trips. Just stuck like sardines. All to do school trips separate. Never again. Scathing review. Surprised they haven't shut the place down. No octopuses. People behaving like sardines. Separate. Never again. Yeah. The touching pool close to the entrance only had starfish in it. There's only starfish in there. Maybe it was a starfish pool. No. I want to touch all manner of sea life. Anemones. Anemones. Sea life and their enemies. I'm going to call it in a second. Right. So, this has been the Alkaline Podcast. My name is Riggs. This is the podcast where I aim to get rich or die trying. I accidentally get rich. Did I just say there? No, that's the 50 Cent album. This is the Alkaline Podcast. My name is Riggs. This is the podcast where I attempt to get clean or die trying. I accidentally drank a little bit of a Coke with rum in it. I'm gonna say I was doing a gig last week. I had a Coke. Person next to me had a rum and Coke. I accidentally drank a bit of the rum and Coke. I am terribly sorry, but I don't feel like that's a relapse. It's an accidental thing. I didn't drink anything else. I didn't get drunk. I'm still carrying on. So, debate me if you will, but I'm going to say that I have just got over the 2-month mark. 21.61 days. My sober time's telling me it's 2 months. We're 2/3 away from my next badge, which is a 90-day badge. And I'm not throwing it all away for an errant sip of rum, okay? Okay, there's critics out there who are like, oh, you didn't do all of the things you said you were gonna do. I'm like, yeah, but it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't on purpose, dudes. So come on, man. Cut a man some slack. Come on. So it's the Alkaline Podcast. Yeah, my name is Riggs. I'm the Brighton's resident bad boy. That's what I'm saying. See you in a circle in it. See you with a circle in it. And I am doing stand-up comedy today in London. But this will be in your feeds tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So the day before you're listening to this, I'm going to be in London, Modern Teas, stand-up comedy club. Tomorrow, see you next Tuesday, new material night, Artista Cafe and Gallery in Hove. Thursday, Birmingham Glee. I've forgotten the words you said. Bloody hell, hang on a second. Oh yeah, I've got it. Stereotype. Birmingham Glee Club Thursday. Then I'm going to my friend's wedding. I'm plugging my friend's wedding, but you can't come unless you know him and you have been invited. You cannot come. It's not a gig. It's a wedding. Yeah. So yeah, this has been the Alkaline Podcast. Thanks for listening. If you haven't been listening, maybe listen next time. Learn a few things. I mean, what have we learned today? We've learned today that top loader is still a thing. We've learned today that that the M people love a good heckle and are also amazing. We've also learned that that Joel and Leah and me are terrible brummie accent teachers. But we have also learned how to say stereotype in a South American / Birmingham accent. We've learned a lot of stuff. I feel like we've become closer as people. We've become closer as to ourselves. So Tune in next week if you can handle this level of Tuesday morning nonsense. This is my radio voice. My name is Riggs, and I am signing off. Ciao.